Welcome to another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Max Chadwick alongside Dalton Wasserman here, doing a couple drafts here on the PFF College Football Show. Our Heisman draft and our guaranteed first-round picks in the 2026 NFL draft that we're going to do here too. Dalton, I'm always looking forward to this episode every year. We did it last year too for the Heisman draft and the guaranteed first-round pick draft. Just kind of draft as many players as possible we think are, one, have a chance to win the Heisman Trophy, and then the second draft, who are absolute locks to go in the first round of this April's NFL draft.
Absolutely. We got some variety on today's show. We get to get a little bit of competitive with it. I think my favorite part about today's show is that in the Heisman draft, we're including producer Eli in the draft. As a competitor, we left him out of it last year. He's in it this year. We're having a three-way Heisman race here, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
We need Eli in it because a big storyline of the PFF College Football Show last year was Eli's Heisman bet of Ashton Jeanty. And you and I didn't even draft Ashton Jeanty in that Heisman draft. Eli obviously knew more ball than us by betting on Ashton Jeanty, and he just came up short in that bet there. So Eli, right now, might be the favorite in this Heisman draft.
Well, and it's fun because of the three games we played last year, I won the Heisman draft, you won the first rounders draft, and Eli won our upset picks of the year. I think he just barely beat me out for the highest score in that. So we've got kind of an even playing field going here. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely. I want to remind you guys that all of these stats we're talking about today on the show are available to you guys at the PFF Plus subscription at subscribe.pff.com. So use that right now because we still have a little deal going on for you guys right now, so you guys can check it out. All right, we're going to do the Heisman draft first on this show. And let's go quickly over last year's results. So I want to point this out right now. It's not just about getting the winner of the Heisman right. What Dalton and I did was use F1 style scoring for this, which if you don't know what that means, in Formula One, which I'm now a big fan of thanks to Drive Survive, and I'm a huge fan of the Season 2 with McLaren running away with it, but the winner of every F1 race gets 25 points. Second place gets 18 points. Third place gets 15 points. Fourth place gets 12 points. Fifth place gets 10 points. Sixth place gets 8 points. Seventh place gets 6 points. Eighth place gets 4 points. Ninth place gets 2 points. 10th place gets 1 point. So you see right there. And since we know the top 10 in Heisman vote getting every single year, we apply the F1 scoring to the Heisman. So, Dawn, last year, you took both Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, two Colorado guys. Travis Hunter won the Heisman, so you got 25 points for that. And Shedeur came in 8th, so you got 4 points for that. I had two of the finalists for the Heisman, and Dillon Gabriel and Cam Ward, but it wasn't enough to catch you for getting Travis Hunter at first. So because even though they got third and fourth, I still finished 2 points behind you in the score.
Hey, Travis Hunter, man, ends up the second overall pick in the draft to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Does two-way things on the football field we've never seen before at the major college level. Certainly a lot of fun to watch that Colorado team last year, but I figured if they were going to have a good year, obviously those two would be the big reason for it. And Hunter, with elite play at receiver and at corner, the Jaguars are now hoping they get the same thing out of him in the NFL.
So we drafted, obviously, 5 players each. We only had 4 of the top 10 vote getters. The guys that we did not draft last year: Ashton Jeanty, who finished in 2nd place; Cam Skadaboo finished in 5th place; Bryson Daly finished in 6th place; Tyler Warren in 7th place; Curtis Rourke in 9th place; Kyle McCord in 10th place. So we missed over half of the top 10 vote getters last year, but now with producer Eli in it, who of course knows more ball than us, and a bigger pool of players now there's 15 total players getting drafted. Hopefully we get more of the top 10 this year.
Or maybe not. Or maybe
probably not.
We'll just get a bunch of out of nowhere guys. Because honestly, this year it feels like the Heisman race is more wide open than ever. Right? I think every year we go in with 2 or 3 prohibitive favorites. I really like the odds of Travis Hunter. Dillon Gabriel, I know, was a very safe pick for you last year. There's always certain guys, but it feels like this year we've got a wide open race, and especially because there's so many inexperienced quarterbacks throughout college football.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do here is draft 5 players each. You can do as many non-quarterbacks as you want, but you must have at least one non-quarterback among your 5 players taken. And we're going to determine the draft order right now. I believe, producer Eli, don't we have a – we have a wheel. We got a wheel point up right now. All right, Eli, hit that spin for us. Let's see who gets choice. You want to go – whoever gets this wins the wheel gets the first pick? How do you think we should do this, guys?
Eli, do you have a thought? The wheel winner gets first, or you get to pick where you want to be? How do we want to?
You get to pick where you want to go.
Okay. All right.
And then whoever gets in second, they get to pick if they want to go last or second.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Eli wants first pick.
Okay. Give it a rip.
You just spoiled it right there.
Did he rig the wheel? Is there a way to rig the wheel?
I wish.
Was it going to be me? Stay with me.
It's going to you.
Okay, so should I take my pick right now?
This is good because, we were originally going to do, hey, you won the draft last year. You get choice of where you want to go. This actually, the wheel is just.
It's more fair.
The wheel is just.
All right, then I get to pick.
You get to pick where you go.
I get to pick my slot. Okay, and then
snake draft, by the way, too.
Okay, you want me to do that now, or do you want to spin it first?
You can pick now.
Okay, I'm actually going to go last. If we're snaking, I'm going to go third and then fourth.
Okay.
Yep.
So next up.
Oh, I don't know what I want here.
The sound effects are kind of sending me. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that.
We don't have the sound effects. So it's up
great.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Eli, actually, I think you wanted the first pick. I actually wanted the second pick.
Okay.
So
I'll take that.
Producer Eli gets first pick.
Eli's going first. You're keeping track of it.
I'm keeping track of.
You have it written down. I have to figure out how I'm going. I get to pick two. Okay. I already know what you're doing, so I'm not worried about you.
Eli, Max, Dalton. Okay. Eli, you're up first. Who are you taking number 1 overall in this Heisman draft?
Ooh, who's he taking?
Yeah, this is basically just like a revenge season for me. It sucked having to watch Travis Hunter have such an incredible season and almost root against it the entire time. So I will likely not be taking a running back in this draft purely because I don't think that's going to happen. Even though we don't have as special of a I'm not even sure if you could say he's a defensive player, but just all-around players, Travis Hunter. I'm going to take Arch Manning 1-1. I think it's just too easy not to. Obviously, the clear favorite right now. I just feel if he has a pulse and Texas is in competition all season, as they should be with how talented they are, I think he's going to be a shoo-in. So I'm going to take Arch Manning 1 overall.
I like it a lot. It actually, he's the favorite right now in DraftKings at plus 650. The next player is plus 850. So Arch Manning right now is pretty clearly the favorite on DraftKings Sportsbook to win the Heisman right now. So I think it makes a lot of sense to have him as the number 1 overall pick in this Heisman draft. I want to shout out Donnie in the chat right now. Donnie, say Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver 1 agenda. Like Trevor Sikkema actually agrees with that too. So
could that be somebody's non-quarterback pick here?
Potentially.
It's a high-flying offense.
Yes, it is. So this actually worked out perfectly because I wanted one of these two players. I had no idea who I wanted to take at number 1 overall. So because Eli made the choice for me, I get my actual pick for the Heisman, which we'll find out on Thursday on our awards predictions. I have Cade Klubnik right now. He's plus 950 to win the Heisman, so he's actually third in odds to win the Heisman right now. I'm going with the Clemson quarterback. I think that passing game is going to be elite this year with Antonio Williams and Bryant Wesco Jr. and TJ Moore and Cade Klubnik obviously leading as the best quarterback in the country, in my opinion. Not much of a run game as of right now to speak of for Clemson too, so that offense will really be relying not only on Cade Klubnik's arm, but his legs in that offense too next year. I think Clemson, we did the preseason top 25, you can go check it out. I had Clemson number 1 in that preseason top 25. I think being the quarterback on the best team in the country is also a thing that Heisman voters will love this year too. So the best quarterback in the country, playing for, in my opinion, the best team in the country too. I'm going Cade Klubnik here, and I think he's actually my prediction to win the award this year.
That's very reasonable. You could argue he was the most improved quarterback in college football last year. I think that makes a ton of sense. You look at the reliance, even though Clemson is stacked and they have a great defense, I think there's two things about it. One, the reliance on the passing game. He's going to be carrying their offense. And two, they have an easier road, I would say, to a conference title than any other team in the country right now when you look at the talent they have compared to the rest of the ACC. So I'm in on that. I think that makes just a ton of sense, right? I think Klubnik, and I figured you've been all in on Clemson the entire offseason. I figured that would probably be your first pick there. So I think a solid one at that.
So who is your third and fourth pick now? Start off with the third pick.
I think I'm going to lead mine off at number 3. I'm going to go with Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. I think it's a similar dynamic to Klubnik, where if LSU does have a playoff caliber season this time around, Nussmeier is going to be a big factor in that. We're not quite sure if their defense is going to be improved. They did a lot in the transfer portal. Nussmeier had the 4th most dropbacks in the country last year, and it's not a lot of play action and scheming. It's a lot of true drop back passing. There is a chance that he leads the nation in passing yards this year. So I'm going to go with Nussmeier as my first pick there, and then I'm caught between a couple of guys with my next pick. But if you have anything on Nussmeier, feel free.
It makes sense. I mean, he's the second player in odds right now at plus 850. So it makes sense that you want to get him here. And like you said, I mean, if they're going to make the playoff this year, it's going to be because of the arm of Garrett Nussmeier, because they have questions on that offensive line. They have a lot of questions defensively, too. They're going to rely on Garrett Nussmeier a lot this year. Thankfully, his injury that scared a lot of people in practice, I think a week ago, is not serious. He's completely fine. He will be playing week 1 against Clemson. And it's a huge game for not only those two teams, but also the Heisman race, too, considering I took Kay Klubnik number 2. You took Garrett Nussmeier number 3. So I think it makes complete sense that you're taking him there at number 3.
Now the second one is where I'm debating, because I think, does it feel like those three feel like really the favorites to win it going in?
They are.
And even though it's pretty wide open, it feels like, okay, we, especially Manning in this situation, and then Nussmeier and Klubnik as the veteran quarterbacks.
I'm really hoping you don't take the player, because if you don't take him here, this is a perfect strategy.
And I know what you're talking about. Oh,
don't do
Eli, do I want to piss off Max?
No, don't do it. Don't just
I would say
Max.
yes.
No, don't piss off Max.
Because I know he's going to be gone by the time my swing comes around, because then you guys are making 4 picks. I'm going to do it.
No, don't do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Give me Jeremiah
Stop,
Smith.
dude.
I'm doing it. Give me Jeremiah Smith, because you know what? Would
you actually have taken it just not to piss off me? Or just to piss off
I was actually between him, and I was really thinking about Lenora Sellers.
Okay.
Because Sellers' air and ground is, if South Carolina really hits this year like a lot of people think he's going to, I was really caught between them. I'm going to take Jeremiah, though. And you know what? Here's why. You made a great point to me right before the show, before we went on, that as a receiver, he probably won't win it.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to see him at least in the top 10. I think it's actually a safer bet anyway to take Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah Smith. I'm going.
I shouldn't have said anything pre-show.
And it covers I think clearly.
And it covers your non-quarterback.
The best non-quarterback here.
And he covers your non. That's exactly why I wanted to take him too, because he's by far the best non-quarterback.
The next one I would have thought about the swing back. I probably would have taken Ryan Williams on the next swing if I didn't go with Smith now. But I think Smith is just. It's so. I mean, as long as somebody's functional at quarterback, as long as somebody has a pulse for Ohio State at quarterback, Smith is going to be.
Smith has the 4th best odds at plus 1,100 right now. The next non-quarterback is at plus 3,500. So you get rid of your non-quarterback, and you get a guy that's almost a lock to be a top 10 vote getter, considering how much hype he's got. Damn it, man! I shouldn't have said anything.
Feels good.
If I got Kay Klubnik and Jeremiah Smith, I would have been golden. But damn, it sucks now.
Oh, feels good. All right, is it you now?
I'm up.
We're back to you, and then Eli for 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm up here. I am actually not going to go with the guy that you were deciding between and Lenora Sellers. I'm going to go with DJ Lagway here.
I had a feeling you were going to be in on this. This is a good call.
I think DJ Lagway has a lot of hype right now, and he plays for an elite offense in what, in my opinion, a top 10 team in the country too. I think Lagway, the amount of hype he's got a lot of eyeballs on him this year. He's got a great receiving core to throw to. He's got a great offensive line blocking for him too, and a great running back to help complement him in Jaden Baugh. That Florida offense, if Lagway hits his potential, which I think Lagway has more potential than any other quarterback in college football, if he hits that ceiling, he could be the best quarterback in the country. And if he is, with that surrounding talent around him, Florida could have the best offense in the country too. I'm going to go with Lagway here as kind of an upside play, because I think the potential for him and that Florida offense this year is sky high.
No, absolutely. You look at the weapons they have. Trey Wilson, Dallas Wilson, the freshman, J. Michael Sturdivant, Jaden Baugh in the backfield, a good offensive line led by Jake Slaughter. Lagway was a guy I was eyeing also, because I think if you see, like you mentioned, if he fixes his footwork in the offseason and hits his potential with all the weapons that he has, Florida's offense is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and Lagway is going to be the reason for it.
All right. Eli, you are up now with 2 picks after Arch Manning, number 1 overall. Who's going to join him here?
So I'm again also in the spot of trying to think if I should do what Dalton did and screw you, but I'm not going to, purely because it would be a smart strategy to screw you, but then I'm basically just kind of giving Dalton the cakewalk to take it. I am going to go with Ryan Williams.
Okay.
From Alabama, the wide receiver. I can't believe he's only 17.
Not anymore. He turned 18 recently, actually.
So I've decided I'm going to go the opposite way. When he turns 18, he's 16 now. So I can't believe a 16-year-old is going to be doing
he's Benjamin Button.
what he did. But no, I love him. I was looking at some stats. His ADOT was crazy high. I'm hoping that if that comes down even a little bit, just out of Milrow, that he can pick up even more yards, do more stuff after the catch. He's that kind of athlete. So for me, for that, it was between him and Jeremiah Love. I kind of know that's who Max is going to go with in the middle slot. I am going to take Lenore Sellers.
Okay.
I think he is the most dual threat quarterback of all, basically. If he can keep South Carolina, I'm typing at the same time. So we're doing a little bit of both. Producing and talking.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great world. But if he can develop a little bit as a passer and South Carolina can stay in the mix with how much he can run, how much he can kind of do it all, I'm really banking on the upside with him. I think he's probably the most like boom player this year. I would say it's not like boom or bust with him because I think what his floor isn't really like a bust potential, but the boom is there with Sellers. Like if he has the type of season that he could have, he can easily win the Heisman.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about like Cam Newton, Anthony Richardson tools here with the North Sellers.
Yeah, it's the idea that, I mean, you could have a guy, if he ends up with somewhere in the low to mid 3,000s in passing yards and possibly 1,000 rushing yards with everything he can do running the ball, absolutely. It makes sense if you're going down the road of, I believe South Carolina is going to be in the playoff race, it will be because of Lenore Sellers.
Even if he doesn't develop as a passer, it's like Jalen Milrow last year. It's like, you know he's going to be an elite runner.
Yes.
That's you know he's going to be an elite runner, so you have that. So I like that pick a lot. And Ryan Williams is my next non-quarterback, so I like that pick too for Eli. So it makes a lot of sense with those two players there. But I think both those players make a lot of sense. Now I think I'm going to bank on both of you not taking another non-quarterback in this draft. You could screw me and take the other one that I think is pretty obvious here. But I'm going to take my non-quarterback last here. To answer some questions in the chat, Donnie, we're doing 5 picks each. One non-quarterback must be one of your picks. Fence post saying he's going with Damon Williams, actually, with one of his picks. I don't hate that at all.
You want to talk about a dual threat? As long as he shows it over a larger sample size, he's a dangerous playmaker. That's a fun one.
And you also got Sam Levitt at 31-1 odds, too. That's incredible.
Good. That's
considering
I'm seeing right now at 18-1 now.
Yeah, way better. I'm considering Levitt actually up here, my next pick. All right, I'm going to go with the one I don't love here, and Dalton's going to get on me for doing it. I'll go.
You going with Drew?
Yeah, I'm going with Drew.
Well, here's why I don't hate that. I don't think he's going to win it. I wouldn't pick him to win it. I don't think he's going to have the number. But
top 10.
But top 10.
Possible.
Drew, extremely possible.
On the number 2 team in the country. By the way, bad hosting again by me today. We're going to hit the AP poll after this draft is over. We'll talk about the preseason AP poll that just dropped. But
we'll get there.
Number 2 team in the country, quarterback on that team. They're going to run the ball a lot this year. Nick Singleton is also probably a Heisman candidate for this draft. And Katron Allen. But Drew Aller should have a big year at Penn State next year with Andy Kolnick still there. Again, on the number 2 team in the country. He's a top 5 quarterback in the country. Don't think he's going to win it because he won't have the volume of passing stats like other guys in this list. But as a top 5 quarterback on a top 5 team, I think Drew Aller will probably end up somewhere in the top 10 of Heisman vote getting at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Penn State, obviously a heavy favorite to make the playoff right now, probably the favorite to win the Big Ten. Aller is still going to be a big reason for that. He just might not put up the traditional numbers that a Nussmeier or a Klubnik or somebody like that, but he should be expected probably to finish in the top 10. I think to make a safer bet, even if he's somewhere 6 through 10 on Aller, that makes a lot of sense. I would have considered him here with one of my picks.
Okay, you are up next here with 2 picks now. After Garrett Nussmeier and Jeremiah Smith.
Nussmeier, Smith. Okay. All right, I think the first one is pretty solid for me. I'm going to go with Sam Levitt from Arizona State. The only qualified quarterback in the country last year with an 80 passing grade and an 80 rushing grade. Arizona State is one of the favorites to compete at the top of the Big 12, possibly to repeat as Big 12 champions. Cam Scatterbo is gone. Now they've got Kanye Udo in there to run the football as well, but I think this team is going to be much more this year about Levitt and Jordan Tyson. They're still going to compete towards the top of the Big 12 with everything Kenny Dillingham is building there. I'm going to take Sam Levitt. I think, again, dual threat playmaker. Might not win it. We'll see if they throw it enough to win it. They run a lot of underneath stuff in that offense. They run the ball a lot. They still want to be balanced, but I really like where Levitt's underneath metrics were at last year if he gets more volume passing this year, and he should with Scatterbo gone. So I'll go Sam Levitt first. I feel like now I'm getting this sleeper territory.
Yeah, I like Levitt, by the way. That's a good pick. He's one of my top players left on the board.
There's a guy pretty high on the odds here that I'm looking through to
I
see
swear to God, Dalton, if you take the guy I'm thinking of, I'm going to be mad. Real mad.
I wonder who he's thinking of right now because
I think I know who he's thinking of.
I'm wide open. Levitt, by the way, my number 2 quarterback in the country, playing for Arizona State, who's right now the favorite to win the Big 12. I think it makes a lot of sense for Levitt.
I know who you're thinking of, Dalton. So if you don't take him, know he's going to be gone by your last pick.
I'm actually not sure what you're getting at, to be honest.
There's like 5 guys I'm really deciding between right now.
There are 3 guys.
I'm curious who Eli really
there
wants
are
here.
3 guys I think play in 3 pretty solid offenses, and I'd be satisfied if I had 2 of them. Oh, am I taking the gamble? Dang it.
Well, there's one guy who is plus 1,800 with Levitt and Lorena Sellers we have not taken yet. Are you considering him?
It's not him.
Okay.
No, I'm not taking him. Numbers.
So yeah, one guy has the tied for 6th best odds.
I'm gonna trust my gut here and go.
Well, last time you did that, you took Garrett Green last year, so be careful.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. Wow. We're just taking shots today. No. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride the Alabama bounce back. Give me Ty Simpson.
I was thinking about him too.
I think with Kalen DeBoer, for all the same points Eli made earlier when he was talking about Ryan Williams getting just a better, higher percentage targets this year. Ty Simpson, a much more traditional pocket passer than Jalen Milroe. I like the fit with Kalen DeBoer. I like the fit with Ryan Grubb returning as DeBoer's offensive coordinator after a year with the Seattle Seahawks. Give me Ty Simpson. I do think he's actually legitimately a sleeper with Ryan Williams in that offense, with that offensive line, and with the expectations I have for Alabama this year.
Okay, Ty Simpson, love that. I think he was one of the guys I'm looking at too. Man, this is tough now. Because I think Simpson,
I'm curious what Eli was thinking back there, what he thought.
Was that the guy?
Was he going to? Were you going to double up on Alabama?
No, that is not the guy I was aiming for.
Oh,
mine was more in the sleeper range. So
okay, even more in the sleeper range.
Even more.
Okay. I've got 2 guys that I don't think are both going to be off the board. That maybe another one, maybe a third one. I feel good about my last pick and what I'm going to end up with 5th. I have options.
My problem is I love Carson Beck, but
I can't take him.
I don't love the situation he's in.
And the fact that
the receivers from
the fact that so many of these other quarterbacks run the ball, and Carson Beck does not run the ball at all, he would have to have clearly the best passing season in the country.
Well, the problem is after that, I'm really between him and Julian Sayin right now. Is who I'm between.
Well, see, I didn't consider Sayin.
I also did not.
Wow. So Eli's gonna get whoever he wants here.
If you want Sayin, take him.
Beck, for me, I do think he'll have a little boost with the narrative folks.
Yeah.
I think he's coming from a year where everybody kind of counted him out. And I do think if he bounces back in a big way, and if like Miami's contending in the ACC, and if he shows a little bit more what he did when he had Bowers, obviously he doesn't have that type of weapon in Miami, but if he can bounce back to form like that, that's going to be a big storyline.
I'm a little worried about what Eli's doing. He's scheming back there.
Well, he's trying to get me to take Carson Beck here.
I don't trust him back there. No, go with your gut. That works all the time, doesn't it?
It's between Sayin and Beck. I'm going to go with Sayin.
Ooh.
Which is dangerous because Sayin hasn't even won the job yet at Ohio State. Lincoln Keenos is very much still in that running. But the best receiving core in the country, I have no questions with their supporting cast, maybe offensive line a little bit. I'm going to go with Julian Sayin over Carson Beck, even though I think Beck is a better player, but I think Sayin has better tools around him.
All right.
I'll go with Sayin. I don't love it, but I'll go Sayin.
Eli's up for 2 then. This is his last 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is my last 2. I will say I was thinking Beck a little bit, not a crazy amount. I do think he does have the narrative sense going with him. I'm going to keep my sleeper pick for the next one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got to look good on the board. Okay. Like I'm going to say with my 5th pick, I picked this guy. But I think here, I think I'm nervous about the weapons considering what's happened recently. But I think I'm going to take Dante Moore.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to take him.
You're riding the Oregon wave. The last 2 quarterbers have been Heisman finalists.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that I think is going to make the list. I think Oregon's obviously going to be good. I haven't looked at their schedule. I have my sleeper schedule.
It's not that hard.
So like if they're in the mix and Moore plays well, I think he's a guy who's going to be in the finalist. So him, I don't know if he has the higher upside, but I think he's a guy that can pretty easily, not easily, but he can get on the board.
They have Indiana at home, and they're at Penn State. But that's really it.
Funny,
so they could go 11-1
A sneaky non-quarterback that I had thought about if it was an emergency here, actually I thought about was Mekhi Hughes.
Ooh, yeah, they're going to rely on him
I love that.
They're going to run the ball a lot, but more, look, if you believe in the upside and you believe in just Oregon's system, and the last 2 quarterbacks have been Heisman finalists, then that makes a good amount of sense. I don't hate that.
All right, Eli, your sleeper pick here. You're Garrett Green of the draft.
Yeah.
Your dick.
Now, I would.
For anyone who doesn't know, Dalton took Garrett Green last year in our Heisman draft, and it didn't work out very well.
Wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, he's playing wide receiver.
Green,
he caught a pass in preseason, I saw, too.
He did.
Yeah.
Go to
Now, I would say it would be really funny if I did this whole thing just to take Jeremiah Love. So that way,
You
Max,
would suck for that, by the way.
it would be awesome because it would screw Max. But
It
also,
would
again,
suck.
like I can't, in my heart of hearts, take another running back and have it shatter me.
Yeah.
My pick is somebody that we actually discussed in our 20K dinner. I'm taking Dylan Raiola.
Ooh.
I think
wow. Okay.
he's a sleeper at plus 7,000. I think there's some real value there.
The Nebraska narrative.
Yeah.
Donnie shouted out in the chat earlier, too. Donnie said his sleeper pick is Dylan Raiola, too.
Yeah,
So
I don't have that pulled up. Sorry, Donnie. I'd give you the love or riding together.
yeah.
Mike back here is messing up. Sorry,
You're good.
but if they go out of the Michigan game and they start 4-0, there's a real shot they're going to make the playoffs. Because assuming their only loss is at Penn State,
Yeah.
like they might be a 1-loss team and they're in the playoffs. And if they're in the playoffs, you'd have to assume that Raiola is at least going to be in the finalist. If not, maybe in New York. I mean, a guy like him bringing Nebraska back to the promised land.
That's a storyline.
That's a storyline.
Storylines matter for Heisman. Remember that. Yeah, that's a good storyline.
I'm going with Raiola. I think plus 7,000. Obviously, he's deeper down on the list. There's a lot of guys in front of him that I just don't think have the path. There's a bunch of like quarterback battles that are ahead of him that I think is kind of wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with Raiola. I'm riding with Nebraska. Hopefully, I mean, man, that'd be great for the show. We love the Nebraska fans here, and if they roll into Penn State undefeated, which if they beat Michigan, they should. They should be favored in every other game. So,
and what better place to start a Heisman campaign for Dylan Raiola than Arrowhead Stadium?
True.
In week 1.
You know he's going to want to show out there. Yeah.
That's home field advantage for him.
Yeah, it is.
Neutral site is crazy for that. They're saying that's a neutral site, but I mean, you also have
the Kelsey brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a real battle.
It is true. A lot of Chiefs connections there.
What a ball game
in Cincinnati, Nebraska. We'll preview that game, by the way, too. We are previewing that game in our week 1 preview. But I like that pick a lot. Raiola, that's a sneaky one right there. I like that.
The narrative is a big thing. It's something I even forget about sometimes, to be honest.
And they're going to rely on
That's a good one. Oh, they
much better receiving core this year,
Dane
too.
Key and those receivers. It's big.
Isaiah Hunter there. Yeah. I actually like that pick a lot.
Right.
Wasn't who I would go on with.
You're up with your last one, right?
Yeah, I have to take a non-quarterback. I'm going to go with the easy one. Jeremiah Love, the best running back in the country. Eli already had it pulled up right there before I made the pick because he knew. He's the best running back in the country, playing for one of the best teams in the country. Notre Dame relied on that run game last year to make it to the national title game. They're going to do so again this year. Brand new quarterback. We don't even know who's going to be yet between CJ Carr and Kenny Minchie. So whoever it is, they're going to rely on Jeremiah Love. Now, the reason why Love is going to go higher in this draft is because there's a really good running back committee behind him too that could take some carries from him. Like Jadarian Price is one of the best number 2 running backs in the country. So that scares me a little bit. But Jeremiah Love, everyone knows who he is. He's the best running back in America going into the year by a mile, in my opinion. I think, and there's always usually one running back somewhere in the top 10 of the Heisman too. So my bet for this year is going to be Jeremiah Love.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. He's the best running back in the country. The only question for me would be volume.
Yeah.
With having Jadarian Price there, with having Aeneas Williams there to take some of the pass-catching work, and we saw Jeremiah had the ankle injury at the end of last year. But in that offense with a new quarterback, no matter who it's going to be, Notre Dame's going to run the football a ton. Love is going to have a big season. I think that's a good bet. I could see that.
All right, who was your final pick here of the Heisman?
All right, you guys actually left me, I think, a lot of really good ones, and I've been kind of sitting here the last few minutes shuffling through them all in my head. I think there's some good candidates. There's a lot of people who believe in John Mateer at Oklahoma. I think Austin Simmons at Ole Miss could put up some good numbers with a really good receiving core. Fernando Mendoza is a fun one at Indiana, but I'm going to go slightly further down, and I'm going to go back to the Big 12 again for my last pick. And I think I'm in. You know me. I'm in on this bounce back.
Wow.
And we've talked about some dual threats.
Wow.
I'm going to take a little more of a swing here. Mendoza, or even I thought about Jaden Maiava too for USC, because as they're always putting up numbers on that offense. Give me Devin Dampier from Utah. That's where I'm going with that. I think there's a big bounce back. Devin Dampier's rushing ability behind an elite Utah offensive line, get in the play action game, slinging balls down the middle of the field. He was really good at New Mexico last year. I think he's the reason that Utah could have a big bounce back. If they're competing at the top of the Big 12, I think you're going to hear a lot about Devin Dampier as the season goes on. The dual threat ability, I'm in on it. I'm in on Devin Dampier. He's a freak athlete. I'm going to go with him. Again, I thought about Mendoza, thought about Mentir. Jaden Maiava, I think, will put up good numbers at USC, but give me Dampier. I'm taking the Utah bounce back. If I get either Levitt or Dampier, Arizona State or Utah at the top of the Big 12, I feel good about my chances.
Dampier 60-1 odds on DraftKings right now. So we had 70-1 odds with Raiola, 60-1 odds with Devin Dampier. I don't hate it, man. You know, that offensive line is elite. I think Utah's going to have a huge bounce back year this year. Could win the Big 12 this year, too. We'll get into that prediction next week, but yeah, Devin Dampier, again, not a guy that I thought you were going to go with there, but I don't hate the sleeper call right there.
It probably, now that I look at it, if there's one that's going to burn me that I passed on, it's probably Mendoza because of the narrative we've gotten in the preseason, and I do think he's going to play well at Indiana, but Dampier and the dual threat abilities and the way, the rushing especially, tied with John Mateer for the most missed tackles forced among quarterbacks in the nation last year. I love Dampier, and I love him behind Spencer Fenno in that offensive line.
Yeah, all right, I just sent our teams over to Eli real quick, but any honorable mentions? So I want to shout out Carson Beck is tied for 6th in odds. We didn't even take him in a 15-player draft here. That one might come
I'm
back to
struggling with the Miami thing.
Yeah.
Because I go, Cam Ward was as good as he was last year, and they won 10 games and found a way to miss the playoffs. Is Carson Beck going to be – that's really the question for me. Is Carson Beck going to be as good as Cam Ward? Yeah. And I like Carson Beck a lot. I just don't think he's going to be as good as Cam Ward was.
Yeah, Carson Beck, Gunnar Stockton we didn't draft. He's 25-1 right now. John Mateer, 25-1. Jackson Arnold, 35-1. Austin Simmons, 40-1. Mendoza, 50-1. You mentioned him. Marcel Reed.
If there's one thing I wanted in my quarterbacks, I didn't really want a new one. I wanted all of my guys, Nussmeier, Klubnik. Klubnik's got 2 years starting. Levitt has one. Dampier, it's at New Mexico, but he has a whole year of starting under his belt. I really wanted guys that I've seen plenty of before.
Besides Ty Simpson, you took.
Oh, I did take Simpson, didn't I? But Alabama, though, I'm making the one exception there.
I don't hate that,
I was. That's why I didn't want to go first. Because I didn't want to be the one to either take or pass Manning first. And then, like, Julian Sayin, I was not. I would rather go with Simpson over Sayin because we've seen a little bit of Simpson, and it's at least looked like solid.
And Simpson's pretty much guaranteed to be the starter.
Yeah.
Sayin, we still don't even know yet. So.
Yeah. So I think when you look at some of these guys, it's even Dante Moore, like he started, 5 or 6 games at UCLA. I didn't love it, but I get the reasoning, but Simpson's the one guy I was going to take the gamble on, but otherwise, Sayin or even that's what led me away from Austin Simmons. We saw him a little bit last year, but not enough for me to throw him in the top 5 here.
All right, just to recap our teams real quick. Eli had Arch Manning, Ryan Williams, Lenora Sellers, Dante Moore, and Dylan Raiola. I had Cade Klubnik, DJ Lagway, Drew Aller, Julian Sayin, and Jeremiah Love. And Dalton had Garrett Nussmeier, Jeremiah Smith, Sam Levitt, Ty Simpson, and Devin Dampier. So just to remind you guys, it matters who wins the Heisman, obviously, but also who finishes in the top 10 of Heisman votes too. That matters for this draft. You can see the scoring right here. So let us know in the comments below who do you think will win this Heisman draft, honestly. We only got 4 of the top 10 last year, but now instead of taking 10 players, we took 15 players. Hopefully get more of the top 10 this year. Let us know what you think, who you think is going to win this draft with those teams right there. All right, Dalton, we had the preseason AP poll drop about an hour and a half ago right now. What stood out to you in the first version of the top 25 you can see right there?
There's probably, I kind of go with the couple teams are too high, a couple teams are too low. I think I probably wouldn't have Georgia ahead of at least Notre Dame, if not Oregon and Alabama also. They're top 8, but I think they might be closer to 8 than 5. What was the other one I saw that was too high? SMU, I get it, coming off the year they had last year, but they lost a lot on defense. I'm worried about their front seven. And a team that we didn't have ranked in our top 25 was Oklahoma, is up there at 18. And look, I know there's a lot of excitement about John Mateer, Jay Knott coming in there as well. They do have a very good defense under Brent Venables, but still a little worried about that passing game. Mateer's got to adjust to the SEC after playing mostly a Mountain West schedule last year. So high hopes for Oklahoma down there in Norman. In week 2, we're going to learn a lot both about them and about Michigan, who is up there at number 14. So a huge game in week 2. Oklahoma is a team that I think early in the season you keep your eye on and see how that offense is really rolling.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me is this week 1 is going to be historic. This is an incredible slate of week 1 games we have. In fact, we have 3 games in week 1 between top 10 teams in the country. We have Texas against Ohio State, 2 of the top 3 teams in the country. We've got number 4 Clemson against number 9 LSU, and we have number 6 Notre Dame against number 10 Miami. So 3 games between top 10 teams in week 1. Also a ranked game in week 0 from Kansas State against Iowa State in a couple weeks too. In Ireland, we can't wait for that game either. I disagree with some of the list, obviously, but the biggest thing I took away, Dalton, is I cannot freaking wait for what should be one of the best week 1s we've ever seen in college football.
Huge game in week 0 in the Big 12, like you mentioned. 3 top 10 matchups in week 1. And then you look at some of the other games that are outside of that top 10. South Carolina playing Virginia Tech, not an easy game. You've got Auburn and Baylor. You've got Colorado and Georgia Tech. Both of them got votes outside of the top 25 here. I mean, you've just got some dynamite football games in week 1. This is as stacked a week 1 as I can remember. But the 3 top 10 matchups and the playoff implications that those are going to have all out of conference. I mean, just a ridiculously stacked slate. And I think for me, especially, you look at the stakes in that Notre Dame-Miami game, and especially for Notre Dame, their first 2 games are Miami and then Texas A&M sitting there at number 19. And I think
too low.
I think they should be even higher. I think Texas A&M should be top 15, honestly. Notre Dame's got some huge stakes week 1 and 2 against the number 10 team and the number 19 team right now.
Yeah, I actually put Texas A&M in my top 15 when we went over that last week. So I agree with you. They should be a top 15 team right now. But yeah, I can't wait for those games right there. Yeah, A&M is number 13 in my preseason top 25, so they should be a lot higher than 19. But still, great week 1 we have in college football. It's going to be incredible. And how about this stat, Dalton? First time ever that Texas is starting off number 1. For a program as storied as the Longhorns are, this is the first time ever they've started the season number 1 in the AP poll. I thought it was a crazy stat when I saw that.
Yeah, I was surprised maybe after the Vince Young National Championship or sometime in the era when they had Colt McCoy as their quarterback. I figured they'd be number 1 there at some point. But no, I mean, it just shows you the expectation that is on Steve Sarkisian, that's on Arch Manning, that's on what's arguably going to be the best defense in the country. They made obviously the Final Four last year and barely lost to Ohio State. I think you're really looking at a team, and especially these teams at the top, especially those top 4, right? You look at Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, and the expectations on them right now, especially Texas, Penn State, Clemson, after Ohio State won the title last year. There's some teams in some trophy or bust years this year, and Texas is really one of them after making the college football playoff and the Final Four, I should say, in each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely. They have a lot of expectations for them this year with Arch Manning as their quarterback, who's the betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy and the number 1 overall pick in our Heisman draft too. So a lot of expectations on Texas right now, but they start off the year number 1. They're playing number 3 Ohio State, the defending national champs, in Ohio Stadium in week 1. We're, of course, going to preview that game and every other game between Power 4 teams, all 11 games coming up in a couple weeks. And, of course, the Kansas State-Iowa State game, too, the week before in Ireland. It's a massive, massive week 1. We got Fence Post even shouting out the Baylor-Auburn game. That's a huge game on Friday night, too. We have Thursday. The games that Dalton and I are previewing. A game on Thursday, some games on Friday, obviously games on Saturday, games on Sunday, and games on Monday. We have 5 days filled with massive games in college football, back to back to back to back to back. It's going to be an incredible week 1 of college football. A full 5 days from Thursday to Monday. I can't wait for it.
It's going to be unbelievable. Plus, again, a huge week 0 game.
Yes.
Massive week 0 game. K-State and Iowa State in Ireland. It's going to be just unbelievable to watch the entire week.
We'll, of course, break that down in week 0. Next week, we'll be doing our preview of Kansas State and Iowa State. All right. Now we're going to our guaranteed first-round pick draft. So we did this last year where you get 1 point for every right answer. And we'll change it up this year a little bit to make the penalty a little less severe. -2 points for every wrong answer. So off that scoring, I won it last year with -5 points. So we still were below 0 last year. -2 points, excuse me. Dalton had -5 points last year. If you look back at what we said, Dom, I have it pulled up right now. So I had Travis Hunter, got that right. Will Johnson got it wrong, should not have gotten it wrong, though. Calvin Banks got it right. Taylor McMillan got it right. James Pierce Jr. got it right. Carson Beck, back to school for another year, got that wrong. Deion Walker, 4th-round pick, got that wrong. And then my sleeper that wasn't penalized, but Denzel Burke was my sleeper. Again, he wasn't a first-round pick, so I didn't get any points or deductions for that. And then you, I believe, yours was you got a lot more than
I had
me.
more. I definitely went on picking like 3 or 4 more guys beyond that.
I'm actually in the middle of an ad right now on YouTube, so I have to wait for that. But you had Mason Graham. Wow. I remember you had Mason Graham. Who were some of the other ones?
I know the
Shedeur.
I think I had Shedeur. The worst one I had was Takario Davis, and now he's transferred to Washington instead of coming out. I remember I had Takario Davis for sure.
I'm pulling up right now. Okay, it's Mason Graham, Will Campbell got those 2 right. Okay. Luther Burden got it wrong.
Just missed it.
Yeah, just missed. Nick Scorton got that wrong. Ben Morrison got that wrong.
Got a lot of second-rounders.
Malachi Starks got it right. Abdul Carter, good call by you, got it right. Takario Davis, Colson Loveland got that right. And then Shedeur Sanders, he got that wrong.
Shouldn't have been wrong. Anyway.
And I believe your sleeper pick was Ashton Gelati, which she didn't. The sleeper pick is basically.
Okay. That was a bonus one. Yeah, Gelati, you know what? Gelati was a top 100 guy, though, in Kansas City. Now, he was a 3rd-rounder, so I had a lot of second-rounders in there. I was close on. Burden actually is the one that hurts me. He missed it by, 5 or 7 spots, something like that.
Do you want to do a sleeper one again this year?
Yeah, sure. I haven't thought about who it's going to be, but we'll figure it out.
Let's actually pull up the consensus board. I'll send you the link right now. And we'll do outside the top, 32 or 50 of consensus board?
On consensus?
50.
Did we do
We did 32 last year.
Okay, is that what it was? Okay.
We should do 50 this year. It's more of a sleeper.
Sure, whatever you want.
Okay. All right. Since I won it, I get to call the coin flip, right, Eli? Is that what we're doing for the, I believe?
Did he fall asleep back there?
We're doing it.
Oh, he's got the coin flip.
I'm calling.
I wasn't sure if he fell asleep during the.
No, I was trying to grab the mic and I kept messing.
Oh, you're good.
I'll call tails. I always call tails coin flip.
Okay, because it fails half the time.
Yeah. And it is tails.
Go. So I get first pick.
Okay. Are we snaking this, or are we just going back and forth? Probably. Right?
Snaking.
Oh, we are snaking. Okay.
I'll go with Peter Woods.
Oh, okay.
As my number 1 overall pick. I think Peter Woods feels like Mason Graham last year. Just he's going to be a top 10 pick probably, but almost a guarantee to be a first-round pick right now. I think as a run defender, he's probably the best in the country at D-tackle. Pass rusher, he's probably the best in the country at D-tackle too. The size, the agility he plays with. He played edge rusher for Clemson last year. Still at an 80-plus PFF grade. What he does at 315 pounds is rare. I would be very surprised if Peter Woods is not a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, in the 2026 draft, let alone a first-round pick in 2026.
Very reasonable. Yeah, I get that. I figured it'd be one of 2 guys, and that was one of them. I'm going to go with the other one with mine. Give me Caleb Downs, best football player in this draft. I think I took a safety last year in Malachi Starks. Got a little more in the late 20s, but I'll take it. Felt good about it. I feel even better about Caleb Downs. This is an elite safety prospect. I don't care about positional value with him or any of that. This is up there to me from what we've seen the first 2 years with the Derwin James and the Kyle Hamiltons and that level of safety prospect. I'll take Caleb Downs first. I think he's best football player in this class.
Okay.
Absolutely. The second one...
Before you decide, I want to remind people, this is not a set number of rounds either. Dalton and I could draft as many players as we want, but again, you get 1 point for every right answer, -2 points for every wrong answer. So again, we're guaranteeing guys who will be first-round picks in this year's draft, not 2027. Can't take Jeremiah Smith. This upcoming April's NFL draft, who will be a first-round pick in it? That's what we're doing right now. So again, as many players as you want or as few players as you want, but reminder, you get 1 point for every right answer, -2 for every wrong answer.
The next one, I will go with the other Clemson defensive lineman, TJ Parker. I think it's very possible that the first interior defender and the first edge defender in this class are both from Clemson. I'm going to take TJ Parker. I think he's in for a massive year with that defensive line, arguably the best D-line in the country.
Okay, I was going to take TJ Parker if you didn't.
So you're getting 2 here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do something that's sacrilegious, I think, at PFF. I'm going to take a running back here.
Oh, boy. Oh, okay. You're gambling already.
Yeah, I'm gambling.
Oh, wow.
Dude, we're already gambling. This is the kind of draft where you're already gambling. I'll go with Jeremiah Love. I think I would be barring injury, I would be very surprised if he is not a first-round pick next year, especially with teams like the Bears and the Cowboys desperately needing running backs. And I think Ben Johnson and, of course, Jerry Jones would be very interested in getting a running back in next April's draft. I'll go with Jeremiah Love here as I would be surprised. And listen, he could run through you. He could run around you. He could hurdle you. He could do everything as a running back. He was one of the best running backs in the country last year. He should have another huge year at Notre Dame with a great offensive line blocking for him. I think Jeremiah Love is pretty clearly RB1, and we've seen it time and time again. Look, running backs are way more valuable than they were in years past. I mean, Ginty and Amarian Hampton both were first-round picks this year, so I'll say Jeremiah Love continues the trend this year.
Oh, okay. You're
it's dangerous.
You're banking on it because I think he's the only one you'd probably think about there.
I would not take another running back.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wow. Okay. All right. You went. Okay.
Oh, I go again, right?
Yeah, I think you're going again, right? You have Love now, and then you're going. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go. This one again is a call. I'll say Caden Proctor.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because I think his movement ability and his size is just so rare. I get it. He's very raw as a left tackle at Alabama right now, but that kind of just raw physical tools that he has is just very, very rare. I would be surprised if he's not a first-round pick, even if he doesn't develop as much as we'd want him to. That kind of just size, strength, and the way he can move at 370 pounds is insane. So I'll go with Caden Proctor as one of my picks here.
Sometimes you just have to take the idea, right, and the physical tools. I think that's a really good pick because even if he just comes out and has a solid season, I mean, look at him at that size and what he can do. I get that, absolutely. Here's what I like, though. With my next 2 picks, I feel these are 2 more picks I feel pretty darn good about considering what we've seen recently. Number 1, I'm going to go with the Miami defensive lineman Ruben Bain.
Okay.
I think even if he's not one day going to lead the NFL in sacks, I think everything we've seen from him the last 2 years when he's been healthy, this screams first-round talent. I mean, he's just one of the best players. He's one of the best defensive players in the country. He's so strong. He's a really good run defender. He's an excellent pass rusher. He showed that off when he got healthy last year. I'll take Ruben Bain, and then my second one, I'm going to go an offensive tackle. Also, give me Spencer Fano from Utah. He was the highest-graded tackle in the country last year. Is that right? And the highest-graded run blocker. Somebody, one of those Shanahan teams with one of those offenses, even if he plays guard or tackle, they're taking this guy in the first round. I think he's the mauler that you want. After the first couple weeks last season, he had a really good year in pass protection. I just think Spencer Fano is the type of guy that goes somewhere between, say, 15 and 32. Even as I did, Talisi Fuaga went, 13 or 14?
Yeah.
I think it was 13 that he went. I think that's a similar blueprint that you have there for Fano is Talisi Fuaga, a team looking for just a mauling run blocker, guard or tackle, wherever the arm length and all that comes out. But I think Spencer Fano is going to be a first-rounder.
Okay. I like it. My next pick, I'll go with, in my opinion, the top receiver in the class.
Okay.
Because there's always a few receivers go in the first round. Again, I'm not saying he's a blue-chip player by any means, but I'll go with Jordan Tyson here, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. Again, he's a top receiver in the draft. The top receiver in the draft always goes in the first round. Top 3 or 4 receivers in the draft always go in the first round. Tyson, I think, will be one of those top receivers. He's not the best receiver in college football. In fact, I think he's the 3rd best in college football right now behind Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams. But as an intermediate route runner, he's outstanding. James Foster, who does great work on YouTube, he made a great comp, I thought, to Rashad Bateman for Jordan Tyson. Of course, Bateman hasn't been great for Baltimore, but he had a pretty good bounce back, or pretty good breakout year, I should say, last year. I think Tyson, again, just the nature of the position. There's always 3 or 4 or 5 guys that go in the first round every single year. And I would be surprised if Jordan Tyson is not a top 5 receiver in next year's draft. So I'll take him here.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. As long as the chemistry continues with Sam Levitt and he recovered from that shoulder injury he suffered late last year, Tyson should be in for a massive year. I'm in on that. He reminds me, Bateman's a good call. I liken him a lot to, I think there's some Chris Godwin in him. I think that type of player, even Brandon Ayuk from the same school, that type of player usually ends up going mid to late first.
Don, I'm running out of players here. I'm not.
You're running out,
dude. This is the type of draft.
Well, what's fun is neither one of us has taken a quarterback,
and I'm terrified.
I agree with that. Actually, that's why I haven't done it either.
I'm terrified. I will go. Got Donnie shout out in the chat. I actually go with him here because I think again, tools wise, he's probably going to end up being a first round pick. Keldrick Falk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sellers. Okay.
No,
what's funny is Falk.
There is a world where Sellers goes back to school.
To be honest with you, Falk was probably the next guy I was going to take.
Okay.
That's a great call. I see some Jason Pierre-Paul in that guy.
Yeah.
And Pierre-Paul went, 10th or 11th overall?
The strength and the speed he has, the explosiveness he has, I think he's going to be a first-round pick. So I'll go with him here.
You swiped my next player. I'm going to be honest with you. You did. You swiped my
Keldrick Falk.
I wanted Keldrick with an L there, Eli.
He's doing a lot back there.
He's doing a lot. He does a lot every show. Just dealing with us is a lot.
Keldrick.
Yeah, you took the
L, Eli.
There it is. There we go. This graphic has like a Jeopardy feel to me.
It does. I kind of love it.
Yeah, kind of in on it. We might have to play Jeopardy one day. Yeah, that was honestly going to be the next player I would say. Easy now. Hold up. Relax now. I'm not going against.
You scolded him, so he's going to screw you over.
I'm not going against Archie now. Hold up now. Maybe that's my sleeper. Does that count? No, probably not.
No, you can't.
Falk. See, here's the thing though: is I feel like it's stupid not to take at least one quarterback.
I have an idea of one.
You have an idea? Okay.
There's two I'd probably be willing to take, but after that it gets dicey.
All right.
Oh, actually, there might be 3 I'm willing to take, actually.
Oh, 3 of them. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You have 2 picks here.
I do, and I'm thinking. That's always tough. All right. I'm just kind of going through this consensus board and see if there's anybody I'm, like, missing here. They have Jake Slaughter at 92. Fix that. Please.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I won't guarantee Jake Slaughter because center, but
well, that might be a good sleeper pick though.
It might be. See that? Okay. I'm actually deciding between 2 quarterbacks.
Okay. You could take both of them.
I could take both of them. And then there's one more player I might do. Okay. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to take them both.
Okay.
From 2 rival schools. Give me Cade Klubnik.
Oh, you're going. Okay.
I'm going to say he's going to have the big year, and somebody's going to wind up taking him. I think he's the safest bet for a big year this year, at least statistically. Agreed. And that's why you picked him first in the Heisman draft. I'm going to go Klubnik, and then because every year we have an idea. There's an idea. There's the physical tools quarterback. I don't love it. It's not my favorite thing ever. But somebody's going to have the idea, and they're going to take Lenora Sellers in the first round. And we see this every year. Somebody's got the tools, even if they're a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. We saw it with, obviously Anthony Richardson. There was so much talk about Jalen Milroe last year. I think that's about where Sellers is right now. If he's a better passer than Milroe, then you start to talk about somebody. It just feels like with all the noise, if he has anything close to the year that we think he could have, maybe. Then, and part of that depends on South Carolina's weapons, somebody's going to do it.
Okay.
They're going to take the gamble on the athleticism.
You're going Sellers and Klubnik here.
Yeah. I think there's one more guy I want to take. If you don't take him in the next 2, I'll either take that player or maybe one more to even it out. But take your 2 and we'll see where it goes.
I think I'm also going to go 2 quarterbacks.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Garrett Nussmeier as one of them.
Reasonable.
I think he is a guy that could have been potentially a first-round pick last year if he declared. He decided to come back to school, obviously. So I like him a lot. He's got some Tony Romo in his game a little bit.
Is he going to the Saints?
Could be.
Is that where we're
Hey, if his his dad is the OC at the Saints, so if they have a top 10 pick again, and their quarterback situations look great right now with Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler, so possibility. And then I'll go with Drew Aller because I think there's a real chance Drew Aller would have been the number 2 overall pick last year if he'd entered the draft with Cleveland there. There was actually a lot of rumors he might have been the number 2 overall pick there. So he just has the body and the arm that teams would be looking for at quarterback. And even if he stays like around the same this year, doesn't even take a big leap this year as a senior, I still think he's going to be a guy that teams fall in love with just pre-draft and at the combine and seeing him throw at the pro day and all that. Like he just has a big arm, big body. He's like 6'5", 240. I think he's a type of quarterback that rarely falls out of the first round as long as he doesn't completely fall apart this year, which I don't think he will. I think he should have a really good year at Penn State, maybe even win a national title. And if he makes another deep playoff run, he could absolutely be a first-round quarterback.
No, that makes a lot of sense because the tools, the arm strength, everything's there. For me, it's just the ball placement, and they need their receivers, this new set of receivers, to play better than the previous ones. But I figured that's where you were going is Aller because you've been stumping to me that he would have been a top 10 pick this past year. I don't know about all that, but. I get it because he's in for another at least solid season, and he does. He's built like an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to take one more player.
I have one more player too. I think
I'm going to take one more player, and then we'll go.
I might have 2 more players actually.
You got 2?
Maybe.
Oh man, should I take 2 more if you're doing this? Oh, man, I don't know if I love this. All right, well I'm going to take the 1.
I have 2 risks.
I have a risk because of the archetype and what we saw in this past draft, but. Jermod McCoy seems to be ahead of schedule with this knee injury, and it sounds like he's now been doing drills in practice, and it sounds like maybe we might even see him this season for a significant amount of time, especially if he's back, say, by the end of October. He was spectacular last year for Tennessee. It was a shame to see that he tore his ACL, you said in January, is that right?
Yeah.
If he's really going to be on a 9-month-ish recovery period of getting back to game speed, I think his 2024 tape alone was first round worthy. And if he comes back and shows that he's healthy, like Will Johnson had health questions, he dropped to the second round. Ben Morrison had health questions, dropped to the second round. But if we get to see McCoy play by the end of this year, I think his 24 tape is enough. I'll take Jermod McCoy.
He was my next pick, so I like that a lot. Because of the fact that he's likely going to be playing more than we thought he would, because he's one of those guys that could declare for 2027, which I was worried about, which is why I initially probably wasn't going to take him, but I thought about it more. I was like, you know what, he's probably going to play a lot this year. He's right now CB1 in the draft, in my opinion, so I think it's a good pick there. Are you done? Because I think I have one more that I think is dangerous, but I think I have one more.
It's dangerous. Oh, wow, you're getting dangerous. There's a couple of guys I'm thinking about.
It's only -2, by the way, not -3 like last year, so...
I get them wrong anyway. You know what? All right, since you're going to take one more and probably even it out, unless it's this guy, I'll do one more, and then you have one more, and then we're even. Unless you don't want to be even.
Well, are we even? Oh, yeah, we are even.
Right now we are. If I take one more, then you're going to take your one more.
Well, if you take,
All right, screw it. I'm going to do it. All right, I'm taking last one for me. Very last one for me. I wasn't going to do this, but now I have to do it. One of my favorite players in the country. You're the safety. Give me Dylan Thieneman.
Woo!
I'm in. Dan Lanning's going to know how to use him. Best center fielder in the country. Give me Dylan Thieneman.
That was not my player. I like it, though.
Okay, then take your one more, and then
I'm
good. I'm good after that. That's the biggest gamble I'm taking.
I will go with Anthony Hill Jr.
That was another one I thought of. Him and C.J. Allen were 2 guys that I thought about.
Yeah, Anthony Hill Jr.
Scouts are going to like C.J. Allen.
Yeah, Allen, but Hill just does everything for Texas, right? He's a great run defender. He's good in coverage, and he's a great pass rusher, too. He actually rush off the edge a little bit, too. So I think teams are going to fall in love with Anthony Hill Jr. He's just a do-it-all linebacker in an age where linebackers have to do it all nowadays, and I think he's going to be, right now, LB1 in the draft. C.J. Allen's a good chance for that, too, but I'll go with Anthony Hill Jr., so I think that's what I'll finish it out with.
Okay, all right. We got an even number of players this year, each of us there with 8. All right.
So using the consensus big board, which is available at NFLmockdraftdatabase.com, go check them out, someone outside the top 50 players, Dalton, that you think has a chance to be a first-round pick. Again, no penalty if you get it wrong. There's no -2 or anything like that, but you still get a point if you get it right here. So anyone outside the top 50.
Yeah, there's some fun players that are outside of the consensus top 50. Like, even I'm getting down towards like 140 and 150. There's some good ones. You want to go first?
Yeah, I have an idea.
You have an idea? I wonder if you.
I have two players I was thinking about here, so I'm wondering if you're going to take the other one.
I have two players that I'm thinking about, although I'm looking for maybe other options as well.
I will.
You go first, actually.
I'll take Sam Levitt.
Oh, Sam Levitt's outside top 50?
He's 52.
Okay.
So just barely.
To be honest, okay. No, that's reasonable. That's, yeah.
A quarterback, second best quarterback in the country. I think he's going to have a big year this year. Jordan Tyson. They're going to line him a lot at Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham's a great offensive coach. And Levitt, like you said, I think he was the only quarterback last year with 80-plus passing grades and rushing grades. So Levitt, my QB2 in college football. Tools-wise, he's a little skinny for the NFL, but he's a good runner. I like Sam Levitt. I think there's more development needed for him, but I definitely do think he could be a first-round pick in the NFL draft. And also his dad's a big fan of the show, too. So shout out to Mr. Levitt for watching the show. So Sam Levitt, I'll call out right here.
All right, I got some fun ones. I think Zane Durant is a good candidate. He's at 64.
Yep.
Jake Slaughter, who I thought you were going to go with.
I was thinking about
at
it,
92.
But I'd rather take a quarterback than a center.
Yeah, center is tough to sneak in.
Cassius Howell's fun, too.
Howell's a good one.
Ooh, where is Joshua Josephs?
Nick Harbor. Nick Harbor's a just-in-case wild card. Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern.
Torian York is 113.
Torian York.
A lot of good ones, actually, yeah.
Jennings Dunker, like him. Teo Johnson. I think, unless there's somebody in the next couple, Josh Josephs is at 161.
That's what I'm saying.
Woo.
He flashes on tape.
I know, man. Trevor loves R. Mason Thomas.
Yep.
Carson Beck's down to 174. That's sad. My gut is telling me the answer is Zane Durant.
Okay.
We've seen more of these smaller, lightning-quick interior pass rushers. You think about
Kalijah Kancey went first round.
Kancey went first round, and you see those guys get talked about despite the lack of size, that they're so quick inside and they're such good pass rushers that they get drafted anyway. That's Eric Singleton's at 56. Tight end. I don't know that we're having a first-round tight end this year. Some darn good corners. Chandler Rivers is a good call. I think I'm gonna go with Zane Durant. I think that's the first name that jumped out at me. If you can rush the passer, teams love you.
Yep.
And Zane Durant can rush the passer, and there's a chance even more so than Denai Sutton that Durant is their best pass rusher this year on a loaded Penn State team. Everyone's talking about all the talent this Penn State team has. I'm going to take Zane Durant.
All right, I like it.
64 consensus on our board. I think he might be a little higher than that.
Yeah, he should be a little higher
on our board. Zane Durant. Trevor has Zane Durant at 34.
Well, I think it's still our rating.
Or is it still us? Did we have him at 34?
Yeah, he's not.
That's borderline first round that I'm going to take. Right now, it's consensus board, long shot. I'll take Zane Durant then. I'll go with that. It's a different draft this year. I mean, you're taking.
I'm surprised we had that many players actually. Looking back,
I think we're just playing the game here. I feel very good about like my first four.
Yeah.
And maybe McCoy. If I see McCoy healthy at some point this year, I think those five for me, and then your first five, I think are really good.
Yeah.
And beyond that, and again, the quarterback thing is the big, because there's so many quarterbacks everybody's talking about. It's wide open. It's why the Heisman race is wide open. QB1, whatever you think of that, is what some people say. Sellers, some people Klubnik, Nussmeier, Mendoza, Aller, Levitt, Manning, whoever you want. There's just so many different. The quarterbacks were harder, but it feels smart in this case to just go, okay, take a couple of them and see where it goes.
Yep. Yeah, answer Donnie's question. Mekhi Lemon was 30-something in that ranking.
Oh, Trevor loves Mekhi Lemon.
37. Yeah, Donnie does too. They're both wide receiver one for Trevor and Donnie. So, shout out Donnie for starting a new job very soon. Man, we are getting closer and closer to the start of the season now. We just wrapped up our Heisman draft, our guaranteed first-rounder draft, and on Thursday, what we'll be doing live on this show is we'll be going over all of our predictions for all the awards in college football. So can't wait to do that. And then next week we got Iowa State, Kansas State preview, conference predictions, predicting who's winning every single conference, and of course playoff predictions. I'm going to try to go 3 for 3 in my preseason national title picks. We'll see if we can do that next week live on this show. For producer Eli back there, for Dalton Wassman, I'm Max Chaddock. We'll see you guys on Thursday with our full college football award predictions.